I think I'm on YouTube. Seems like I might be. Yeah, it looks like I'm on. I'm gonna shut this one off. Okay, we're on live. I am somewhere. I think I'm on Treasure Island. I'm doing my van life astrology thing. There's my van. I don't know if you can see it in the background. I can't even see my screen. It's so sunny. But I'm on the beach here. I don't even know if you can see that beach. But hang on a second. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Hang on a second. Okay. I think I'm there. Yeah. On YouTube, yeah, I'm on this beach here. I think it's Treasure Island, St. Pete. I don't know. I was just driving around and then my van is parked there. And I just fed the meter and spent the night here, and I had the waves lapping in the background right here. And I was sitting here earlier, but the sun is now beaming. Sitting here, reviewing the chart, my little bench, looking at the sea behind me. So this is why I'm doing these live videos, because I don't have time to, first I want to get the astrology report out, all my reports in between the lunar phases. I just don't have time to do editing or anything like that. So I figured live on Zoom and then stream it to YouTube. It gets everything done one shot. Who cares about the editing? It's all about the information. So yeah, so I'm probably going to do a few more of these in between these lunar cycles, because we just finished up that full moon on February 5th in Leo, which a lot of people got slammed on that full moon, including myself. It's because we had like a Mercury-Pluto conjunction, and that Pluto for me was hitting my 8th house. So yeah, and a lot of people, just the full moon was strong. It was funny because I was with another peer of ours who's part of our masterclass group. He actually lives in Miami. So we got together, and I think it was the night before the full moon. And somehow, you know, we're like spiritual guys. We're like peaceful stuff. We're a little bit older. Somehow, for whatever reason, we wound up in the craziest part of Miami called Wynwood, which is where the Art Basel takes place. And and it was just wild. The music, it was like that 808 frequency music, that whole like lower vibrational music was hitting us on all sides of the RV. We were in the RV, and we were, I think we smoked a little bit of weed. We were processing life on the full moon coming up, and we were like, these people drinking alcohol, we're drinking coconut juice. So we kind of had our vibe, our bubble going. It was sweet. But it was interesting because we were processing all the intense life lessons that were coming with this full moon, while we were kind of like we were calling it the mist of hell. This is the way it was. Like, people were fighting in the streets because they were drunk in the bars and clubs. And it's just wild. The traffic in the area is kind of dirty and graffiti everywhere. We're just like, wow, we're in hell trying to figure out, you know, staying connected to our light. What better learning facility can we have to not be distracted? So it was a beautifully wild process. And that was last full moon in Leo on the 5th of February. And I did some reports on that. I did a van life series part on that, and talked about what can be happening, and a lot of stuff did happen. So now we're looking again. There's another full moon, because Leo is large constellations, over 30. I think it's 32 degrees, 31. So now that full moon was at the beginning of Leo. This one is at the end of Leo. So we're gonna have a look at this, and then talk about what's going on for the new moon. That looks pretty good, actually. And then talk about the next, full moon. So recap on the full moon we just did, new moon coming up, and then March 7th is the full moon in Leo again. So I want to look at that. Oh, some people ask me some questions. I got some like inquiries of like how am I doing van life and things like that. And so basically, I park. Let me pull my keyboard off. Let me show you what's up. So I park. I find beach access parking. You know, like this. I feed the meter. Sometimes I got away like when you're in the van and they see you in the van, they don't give you a ticket. But at night, when I go to sleep, I pay for parking and I put this sign up here. See, astrophotographer on duty, make it sound official. And that, because I was gonna take photos last night of, you can see the stars and stuff, but it's really cloudy on the horizon. I wasn't able to do it. And, but I might be doing that. But yeah, so that's the whole way we do it, the whole van life. And that's my bed up top. Top. One day, I mean, I just did dishes, so I'm a little dirty, but the kitchen is dirty. But one day I'll do a tour of the van. But yeah, this is I've been doing van life since 2005 when I bought this, and now I'm realizing that it's hip. So anyway, let's move on to some astrology. I'm gonna have share screen on here. Let's see. Yep. And I got some of my notes going, so hang on a sec. So we have, well, this was the full moon that passed on February 5th. Let me get my pen out. So yeah, see, that was in Leo, 1 degree Leo, the beginning, coming out of Cancer. So it was an emotional moon. And of course, Leo, anything Leo moon is like heart energy, and it was forming a T square with Saturn, and it was intense. This new moon, let me get my mouse back. This so that was full. So now the new moon coming up, it's February 20th, and that looks pretty good. So the way I like to do astrology and use astrology for life navigation is to look at what's going on in between the lunar cycles, because the moon does have a lot of influence on your energy, because it taps into the electromagnetic frequencies of Earth and moves it. I think I posted an article on the Sidereal Revolution. It moves it like tides. So the moon is important to pay attention to, in between and navigating in between. So we know rule of thumb is the new moon is where you plant your intentions, set your intentions. Full moon is when you have a culmination of your intentions, a celebration of what you planted on the new moon. So this is why I like to navigate in between the cycles to figure out what the navigation is. So now looking at that, we figured out we're in the midst of leaving this full moon in February 5th. Now we're coming up to February 20th, and it looks pretty good if we know what we're looking at. We're looking at, let me just erase this here. Get the vanishing pen. Let me see. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're looking at a new moon in Aquarius. Also, Saturn is in Aquarius. This to me, and then we got Mercury in Capricorn. So I took a few notes here. Let's just see what I wrote. I think it was new moon. Yeah, achievement looks like I just wrote looks like a good alignment. So let me get back here. Okay, yeah, so it looks like we have a good just alignment with setting intentions, because you have Aquarius and Aquarius. So of course that's this utopian energy. It's a mini, well, this is why we practice Sidereal, because it's a micro movement of the grand cycles of movement, which is the precessional cycles, which is the 25,920 year cycle. And we're dawning on the age of Aquarius. So this can symbolize sort of like the sun rising on the spring equinox on the first day of the age of Aquarius. But this is a micro movement, because this is the year, the earthly year. What I'm referring to is the precessional year, which is a lot longer than the earthly year. But this can represent that. And with Saturn there, Saturn represents, in my findings, earthly being, physical structure. We're under the laws of Saturn, Saturnian laws, rules, limits. The whole saying, you're born, as soon as you're born, you're on your way to death. So all of that is Saturn. Saturn needs that structure. We are Saturnian, this matter, structure, limits, what you can do, what you cannot do. And we talk about this all the time, Saturn, and it still is, well, it's showing slightly. There was a square with Uranus and Aries. Slightly out of it, it's not showing up in the aspects, but that was happening. Which Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. This is about free awakening, new beginnings, the new dawn of the new world. And Saturn is there in Aquarius. So that's good. It's an awakening. It's a new way of being in harmony with the laws of the physical earthly plane that we live on. Well, another thing about van life is a mobile jetpack. You carry this around with you. You have internet everywhere you walk. So okay, then you see Mercury in Capricorn ruled by Saturn. So that's just gives you a little bit of logic with a little bit of reality check with this intention setting, which is good. Okay, we like to see some reality-based information. We know Mercury was just in the last full moon was conjunct with Pluto, so it did bring out hidden information, darkness, shadows that should then give us the fuel to apply logic and restructuring to then be able to move forward with this utopian Aquarian dream. So this is what I'm seeing playing out here. And it looks like, am I correct here? Is it Mercury is squares on the nodes, right? Mercury is squaring on the nodes, T-square with the nodes. Yeah, Mercury, Pluto, also T-square. So because they just separated. So we do have still this information that came out is still tapping into the past and the future. So North node is the future and the path of direction. South node is the past. Past in Virgo, this is the creatrix. This is the divine feminine creator, sky goddess mother. This is what I spent a lot of time with in Egypt, is making that connection with Isis and baby Horus and Mother Mary and baby Jesus. They're the same. They have the same story. They are the primordial mother of creation. They create. The sky goddess is seen on the ceilings of most of the temples, especially the ones where you have the mortuary temples, where you have the 12 gates, or the Book of Gates, anything having to do with traversing the sea of stars after death to find your way back home. That's the sky goddess, and she's usually seen on the inside lid of the sarcophagus where the pharaohs are buried. You see a goddess like this, and her body is all stars. On the temples, you see, they call her Nut as well, Nut. She's arcing over the entire ceiling of the temple, showing how the sun dies, gets eaten by her, comes back out, and it's born again. That's all related to Virgo. So we are revisiting this divine feminine energy. We're remembering it as the past, but we are moving forward into this awakening, because Uranus is in Aries. So we're moving forward into this awakening to the new ideas and vision and the new paradigm. This is what's at play. So this is a lot what I see. Now, another thing that I saw, let me see if I can see my notes. This is new moon, a big vision, the path of healing. Okay, yeah. Let's go back here. All right. So this whole set right here in Pisces, we have the Chiron conjunct Jupiter. See, that will bring a sense of just basically expansion on the healing journey in Pisces as well. So we're tapping into the collective wounds of our age. We're in the age of Pisces. Chiron is there, the collective wounds of our age. Jupiter comes in and shines the light. Jupiter is a luminary. It's a bright planet. It's a protector. It's the one that brings, uh, it brings it, it brings it open, but it also protects. It also brings light. So there's an expanded healing journey that's being played out right now. And that could look like any phase of your journey. For me, I'm 49, so I have what's called the Chiron return, similar to a Saturn return. So that is old wounds will present themselves to me, and it's a test of, are you still wounded, or are you prepared to heal others and teach others? How are you going to handle the new round of past information or past, I don't know, past situations that could have brought a lot of wounding? Where are you with it? So this is what could be coming up, especially for those of you who are in that late 40s, 50 range. You're having a Chiron return. And we have the Venus. I think it's a loose conjunction. I'm doing this on the fly too, guys, because life on the road is great, but it's also very much like there's a lot of distractions because I'm actually in like public space. So I had people talking to me while I was doing a video earlier. I had to stop it. So it's just weird. So I'm on the fly. So I have to look at things a little longer. But there's a loose conjunction. Am I correct? Yeah, 5 degrees separating between Neptune and Venus in Pisces. So that gives you, just puts you in like more of a spiritual attunement to this Venus energy, which earlier we were talking about Venus as an evening star. So that's the Inanna story. She's about to become the morning star, and she's reborn again. She goes through those 7 gates of initiation. So that feminine energy is in tune with spirit and is preparing to traverse the 7 gates of initiation, 7 Saturn. So we're going to pay attention to that energy, feminine energies, tapping into spiritual journeying, wounds around that. Yeah, so let's see what else. That's the main gist of the new moon that I picked up on. And again, like I said, I'm winging this, and I just needed to just get this out right away. This is the primary focus I'm picking up on for the new moon. We'll look at some transits so we can talk about the journey between the new and the full, what to do in between. We'll do that in a second. I want to look at the full moon so we know where we're heading now. So let's pull that one up. Let me get my mouse here. So this, I hear some parakeets. So that's the full moon. March 7th. What did I say was Leo? Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. I was looking at the sun in Aquarius. Moon in Leo. You see it's 31 degrees. Well, I forgot how big Leo is, and I apologize. I said 31 degrees. That's because it isn't 31 degrees, but Leo, I forget the number, but it's a little bit bigger. If you notice, my signs are all different sizes. It's because this is what's called true sidereal, meaning we use the true sizes of the constellation. So this is astronomically correct or astronomically aligned astrology or constellational astrology. So you can call it whatever you want. Now let me just take a quick peek at my notes. If I have any, maybe over here. Hang on. Another Leo full moon, working on manifesting the utopian vision, the T-squares. Yeah, there's some T-squares. I might jump back and forth. Because I forgot. Actually, just give me one more second. We might not be done here. I forgot about, oh yeah, some T-squares. Let me just point out some quick T-squares. T-squares is on the new moon, February 20th. This is important. Is Uranus T-squares with looks like yeah, it looks like Mercury in the nodes. So you see here, T square, Uranus, Mercury in the nodes. I think I pointed that out with Pluto in the nodes, but I forgot the Mercury. So this is also Uranus, Mercury is lightning fast information, quick information, broadcasting technology. And it's interesting because this is what we saw, it's been going on. We saw like even this whole weird satellite thing, the balloon thing that we got going on with China that came up during this time. It's crazy. So like spy information, that's exactly what Pluto and Mercury represent, is revealing hidden information, which is, you know, a shorter word for spy. You can't make this stuff up. This is astrology. So yeah, another Leo full moon. So we're at the end of it. So whatever fire, emotional energy came up, because Leo moon is heart energy. And if I was not mistaken, yeah, it's trine on the moon, sextile the sun. So I'll show you what that looks like. Hang on a second. Uranus, right? Sextile trines moon, and then Uranus sextiles sun. So there's a connection with Uranus and Aries with this full moon. So moon Uranus will always create an emotional heart energy, especially because it's in Leo. So moon Uranus create emotion, like a nervous, sporadic awakening energy. Leo heart. Since it's at the end of Leo, heading into Virgo, where the south node is, we might be more lax than that last full moon that was in this area on the 5th of February. So hopefully it's a little bit easier for a lot of us. There's actually parakeets right outside I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see them on the wires. There's parakeets or maybe parakeets. Anyway, yeah, I'm in Florida, so I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah. All right, so there's a few things. First of all, the moon reflects sunlight. We know that, right? So we have this utopian energy that we spoke about in the new moon, so planting. So we have a culmination. The sun is still there in Aquarius. Neptune is there in Pisces, Mercury and Saturn. So the players are still here. But now this moves into more heart-centered energy. Then there's a T square though, right? There's a T square with Mars in Taurus. Taurus ruled by Venus, and we were having this Venus kind of healing energy, this feminine healing energy. So let me see if I wrote any notes on that one there. No, I just wrote T square. Yeah, I think I have to wing this one because I'm in the moment. So yeah, so let's have a wing-in session here. So Mars in Taurus, ruled by Venus in Pisces. Mars is taking action to establish some type of stability, but it's squaring up on the full moon. It's not hitting anything Saturn. If it was hitting Saturn, that would be really trippy. But it's not. It's not hitting Mercury. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of lessons learned. I think it looks like what it took, the energy it took to create stability, and the lessons learned on the way. So we're going to look at some transits later. We might see more information that will point to the journey of Mars. We want to focus on what could be happening with Mars and Venus, because Mars is in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Venus is having this kind of healing journey. I have Venus rising, so I have to also keep a lookout, and I have a Chiron return, and Jupiter's in my 8th house. And so yeah, there's stuff that is part of my journey. So for everyone, but this stuff
is connected to my 8th house. So endings and beginnings and new ways. And so that T square, you want to keep an eye out. That T square is, is this T square. But then we have this also, there's nothing in the galactic center, so we can skip that. But yeah, it looks like the same kind of situation. We still have Pluto in Sag, which at the time of the full moon, it's high in the sky. It's with the midheaven. It depends on what part of the world you're in. But where I'm doing it in New York, we're looking at Pluto that's pretty high in the sky. It's culminated, it's up there, and it's having a sextile to Neptune, squares on the nodes. So Pluto is doing some work. It has that T square there. So with the nodes and Pluto, Uranus, no, but that nodes. Okay, so Pluto is doing some higher truth transmutation work, which is great. But overall, it seems like we're in a good position for this full moon in Leo. Culmination of this dream, this vision, this utopian awakening with the blessings of Saturn, which is pretty cool. I like to see that because Saturn, I talk about this a lot in my master course that has a book by Liz Green, Saturn, Another Look at This Old Devil, or a book, something like that, where it says Saturn is the hands that choke you. Once you learn the lessons of Saturn, those choking hands become the hand that guides you to the next phase. So you want to look at Saturn like that. You want to look at responsibility of this vision. There's a lot of love and light energy out there, but it's like, where's the work that goes into it? There's energy, there's work, there's things to be done. You have this idea, there's paperwork to fill out, there's applications to get approved. There's time spent to structure things. I mean, maybe that's for me too, like I'm on the road and I have to adapt because I'm not able to edit videos. I can't even sit and edit videos without a distraction. So that's why I'm winging these live videos. So this is a way of me working with Saturn with my new world vision concept, because I love being out like this. It keeps me alive, hanging out with parakeets, figuring out, not knowing where I'm going to sleep, and then pulling up to a beautiful beach and spending the night here and just not even knowing where I am. I had to look at the map and realize that I'm on Treasure Island. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I am. I didn't even realize that. And the beach is right there, So this is me. So I make friends with Saturn. I say, yeah, I'm going to use technology. I'm not going to edit, and I'm just going to wing it. And I'm mature enough with my astrology practice that I can wing it, because that's my acknowledgement of self-acknowledgement. My Saturn's in the first house, my original natal. So this is self-structured, self-disciplined, self-acknowledgement. And if those elements aren't there, I don't feel good. So here I am making friends with Saturn, saying, I'm going to live in this new world and this vision. I'm sitting here barefoot right now, in the sun, and I have no plans to go anywhere right now. And that's what keeps me alive. This is life. And I'm making friends with Saturn. So now Saturn is guiding me. So this is the energy that I'm seeing with this full moon, and I'm feeling like I'm in it as well. So let's have a look at transits, which I'm going to wing this too, because I just was looking at it and I'm just like, let me just go for it. So we might clump things up here. I see a lot of like stepped information, like look at all that. Just hits like do, 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 do. So when you see that, you want to kind of look. But one thing, let me get a different pen out. This one is pretty long. We're in it right now. I'm filming this on the 9th on this day. So we're in, actually, let me get the vanishing pen. We are in this juicy transit right now, which is Mars sextile Chiron. So we like that. We like to see that. me get my mouse and me put it right where it goes exact on the 11th, which this video should be up by the 11th because it's live. So actually, yeah, it's going to be up as soon as I'm finished. So let's look at this. So we have Mars transiting, has a sextile to Chiron, which we saw earlier was here, which was in Pisces with Jupiter and Mars. So, but remember, Mars was about to get T-squared with the sun and moon. So yeah, Mars is going through, and sextiles are good. This is creation. So sextile, Mars is going through action to create value and stability and working, the Taurian way, is to apply yourself, work, recognize your tools and your values and what's worthy and what are you going to bring with you? What do you need to build this next paradigm? That's the whole situation with Aquarius and the Uranus awakening and, Uranus and Aries, that's everything we talk about. So that goes on. So we're getting hit with that now. We're in it now. It's probably the reason why I'm just floating right now. Then it ends, it looks like on the 15th. So that's a pretty long transit when you're looking at how short the other ones are. This is that Mercury-Pluto conjunction in Sag that we spoke about for that last full moon that was revealing hidden information. This is actually the spy. This is information that comes from the hidden, right? The occult, the hidden information. This is the spy. This is why we have what's going on with this spy balloon and all that crap, right? This is that Venus conjunct Neptune that we spoke about. This is that feminine energy visions. This is the T-square we spoke about with Mercury in the nodes. So past and present, remembering or revealing the information from past and present. These are the dates up top. I have a bunch of stuff here. So yeah, this is 14, 15, 16. So all these dates are really going to just hit. Sun, Saturn, exact conjunction on the 16th. Mercury, sextile Jupiter. So his Venus, Pluto. That's an amazing, always amazing aspect because that's working with the feminine magic. Could also be like the sexual feminine magic energy. So this could be like creation through feminine powers. Sextiles are always good. This is a square, it could be pretty intense. So that's the 18th through the 20th. So you'll feel like, some Shakti energy, creation, Shakti energy you'll get hit with. And I think we spoke about this Mercury, Chiron, so revealing information and then kind of getting clarity on what that healing journey or the revealing of that past wounds, what is that? There'll be more clarity for that on the 20th. So if you're in this like revisiting old wounded patterns or whatever, just focus on the 20th, 19, 20, 21. Give yourself patience and you'll have more clarity around this time. So let everything come up. Let all that stuff come up, that whole spy balloon crap. But your own spy balloon, what was hidden? What are you revealing? And don't react. You have some feminine creation energy in there. So there's always that's also like a very powerful primordial energy. And the feminine creation energy is very primordial. The primordial mother, then you have this Mercury Chiron. So yeah, so the 20th, Mercury square Uranus, that's just like bad news. So that could be combined with the Mercury Chiron. So bad news could be received as bad news or tough news, but that's okay because you're a step ahead because you're doing your transits. This is why we do transits. So we're a step ahead and seeing the bad news and preparing. This with the nodes, I mean, we saw that. This is the new moon, the 20th new moon. So yeah, that's a great time. Yeah, I kind of passed that up for a second in this moment. Yeah, so that's the new moon. and we're having this Chiron moment with the new moon, which is great. We want to see that, so that's great because you'll do a little thing where you do a forgiveness ceremony or something like that. Forgive your, you know, acknowledge your wounds, forgive those, forgive yourself, or whatever, for being wounded or allowing yourself to get wounded, or for doing wounding to others or yourself, or all that stuff. So that can happen on the new moon when you're planting this kind of new utopian intentions. That's really nice. A lot of these conjunctions are hanging up here. Venus conjunct Jupiter. That looks like on the 1st of March. Exact, like at midnight. So yeah, that's good. That's feels really joyous. Like Venus and Jupiter always create this like I don't want to say accomplished, but this like a little bit of optimism. But that's more Saturn though too. It just creates this like yeah, I guess it could be optimism. Let's see, where was yeah, because Venus is, where is Venus is in, well, by that time Venus is in Pisces, right? Yeah, so there is like like a joy there. And Mercury conjunct Saturn. So that's good because that's like, you know, things make sense. Venus conjunct Chiron, that's really good as well because that's healing that wounded feminine energy. So heading into the next, so that might be really nice because we had something going on here with the Venus energy. Then heading into the next full moon on the 7th, then you have Venus with Chiron kind of processing its wounded healing path. And then Mercury in the nodes we spoke about, and then Jupiter conjunct Chiron we spoke about, which was expanding or creating bigger vision, a path of what this healing journey is, or yeah, optimism. Jupiter's always optimism too, like always can have confidence. That's a word I was skipping on. Confidence. It gives a sense of confidence that things can be achieved. So that's what I'm seeing. So anyway, guys, that is it. Let me stop the share here. Yeah, so this is live on YouTube. I'll create a nice cool thumbnail at some point. And yeah, we have a bunch of masterclasses coming up. I'll put some links down below in this description. And guys, I'll catch you soon. I might do a couple more videos in between these cycles because I'm just winging it right now. So I needed to get this out. But all right, we'll catch up.